Okay, here's an update on what is happening with the House and Mike Johnson. Poor Mike Johnson. He had a very humiliating thing happen to him yesterday, which he totally brought on himself. This was the ultimate in unforced errors, but it affects you and me too. So here's what happened. We've been talking about the fact that we're about to run out of money and that the government will shut down now in 12 days if Republicans don't get it together and find a spending package that they can all agree on. Democrats are ready, they're good, they know exactly, what needs to happen, but they can't make it happen because we have, those 5 seats that Republicans have more than us. So they are in a tiny, tiny majority over us. So Mike Johnson brought a package up yesterday in the House, which we have been talking about. It had the SAVE Act, which is the Republicans' totally misleading voter suppression bill, which, basically sets out to address non-citizen voting in the United States, which does not exist. Literally exists at about 0.0001%. Just vanishingly rare. But this has become a big, important thing for Donald Trump. He's the only one who cares about this bill, but he cares about it, so all of the Republicans have to act like they care about it as well. So Trump wants the SAVE Act, so it was attached to the 6-month continuing resolution. So they voted on it yesterday. And all of the pundits, all of the punch bowl and everything, they were all saying it's not going to pass. But Johnson brought it up for a vote anyway. And this, in and of itself, is unusual because, like Nancy Pelosi, for example, never brought a bill up for a vote unless she knew she had the votes. Johnson does not, he's either not a great leader or he's very deluded about his vote counts or whatever, but he brought it up and it failed. It failed by a lot. It wasn't like a 1 or 2 vote margin. 14 Republicans opposed the bill. So it was humiliating and embarrassing for him. And now it brings us to a place where, what is his plan B? How are we going to get the government funded or pass a stopgap bill in the next 12 days so that the government doesn't shut down? Well, it depends on who you ask, because according to Donald Trump, he still wants the government to shut down if he can't have the SAVE Act. He has told Mike Johnson this. He has said it repeatedly. The SAVE Act, by the way, is backed by many, many people involved with Project 2025. I found that to be an interesting connection, and if you'd like me to send you the various links to people in Project 2025 who have come out publicly in favor of the SAVE Act, more proof that Trump is deeply embedded with those very same people. Anyway, so this is a Project 2025 darling, this bill. And Mike Johnson wants to pass it for Trump because Trump wants it and he's willing to shut the government down over it. He's insisting on it because he's afraid he's going to lose the presidential election. And when he does, he wants to save face by blaming that on undocumented people. So that's his calculus. But House Republicans have a different calculus they have to think about. They know that a government shutdown at this point would be terrible for them politically. Again, they don't care about you. They're not like, oh, that person needs their paycheck or their Social Security benefits. They don't care. But they care about politics. They don't want to lose their majority. P.S. They're going to. But so they know that they need to fund the government. So Mike Johnson is between, again, a rock and a hard place. He's got Trump saying, I don't care. Shut down the government if I can't have that bill. And he's got everybody else saying, dude, you've got to pass a continuing resolution that just goes into December. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody agrees is the thing to do. And Mike Johnson just keeps saying, I know, I'm thinking about it. So it's a very, it's the opposite of leadership, honestly, and it's the opposite of governing. This is ineptitude, ineptness, whatever. It's that. But it's what we've got because, we didn't turn out quite enough in 2022, quite frankly, and we need to not make that mistake again in November. Having majorities in the House and Senate really matters because this should be a smooth process. This is not hard. These spending levels were hammered out by Biden and McCarthy. Remember all the way back when? They were hammered out. But Republicans don't want to adhere to that agreement. They want to, recreate the wheel, slash a bunch of programs, put a bunch of poison pills in, and because of that, we find ourselves where we are today. So I will close by saying, will the government actually shut down in 12 days? Probably not. Probably what will happen is at the very last minute, Mike Johnson will defy Trump. He will bring up the clean continuing resolution that just goes till December, and it will be passed. And this will all subside. But think about what we could have been getting done if this hadn't been the focus of this much attention and drama. Think about what the Republican Party could do if it weren't in thrall to a maniac. What a concept. Think about what it could do if it actually cared about governing for you. And then maybe realize that it doesn't and it won't, and vote accordingly in November.